I want to thank you for joining me today. And before we get started, as always, all messages that are released on this channel are my truth. And that is exactly what it is and what it always will be. And that is my truth. Now, my truth consists of a bunch of experiences that I gained clarity from, which ultimately took me back to the real me, which is truth. Now, when I try to convince you that my truth is the gospel, however, my truth is the gospel for me. That does not make it the gospel for you, nor will I ever try to make it the gospel for you. By me being on this platform, I am simply placing breadcrumbs on a path that I've already walked. Now, you find yourself on a similar path and you resonate with said breadcrumbs and you say, you know what, I like that. I want to follow that. And that's cool. If not, that is cool as well. My purpose is to assist those who are ready to get out of their own way. So let's get right into it. All right, so I'm going to jump back on here. And I said, I believe it was maybe 2 messages ago, I said I would do a breakdown on my favorite movie. Now, as you can see by the thumbnail, my favorite movie happens to be Christmas Story. Now, this, still to this day, is my favorite movie. Hands down, I've seen this movie more times than I can count. So I know it like the back of my hand, right? So it's very easy for me to do a Christmas Story versus life breakdown using this movie. I watched this movie since I was a kid. And when I first discovered this movie, it used to come on TNT. Like, they'll show it sporadically throughout December, but Christmas Eve, TNT would show it for 24 hours straight. They play it all the way through to Christmas, right? So they'll start Christmas Eve morning and they'll play it all the way through to Christmas. Christmas Eve morning, I would park it in front of that TV and I would stay there until I went to bed. And I would watch that thing literally every Christmas Eve all day. Like I'd never seen it. Like all day. Like without exaggeration, all day. So this is my favorite movie. I love this movie. So it's very easy for me to go ahead and do a little breakdown with it. So we're going to, now if you haven't seen this movie, first of all, you're slipping. Go ahead and watch this movie. But if you haven't, it's about Ralphie. So Ralphie wants a BB gun for Christmas, right? And we're at a point right now where I'm breaking it down where he's already talked with his parents, the teacher, and everybody has shot him down. They told him, no, it's dangerous. You'll shoot your eye out, right? So he's like, I'm not trying to hear any of that. I want this BB gun. So the whole movie, he is trying to get this BB gun. Now, I'm comparing this to life because it's extremely similar, right? And because he's on his path, he has a goal in mind and nothing is going to stop him from achieving this goal. Nothing. He is straight focused on this, as he should be. Now, this is a perfect movie for manifesting because it's showing you exactly how to manifest as well. So in this movie, you'll see throughout it, he's visualizing, right? He's sitting there daydreaming about having this BB gun and protecting his family and all these different things. The same exact things you need to be doing when you're trying to visualize what you're going to do with this manifestation that you're trying to create. That's what he's doing. He was showing he's going to protect his family. If I had this BB gun, I'll protect his family. You know, some people try to get money. I wish I had $1 million. What you going to do with that $1 million? So he's visualizing, he's applying feeling to it and everything, right? So right now, him and his brother are on the same path. They are on the path to go see Santa. Because like I said, everybody has already shot him down. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna go holler at Santa because y'all tripping. And I know the man who's going to bring it is the answer anyway, right? I don't need y'all, right? So his goal is I'm going to go talk to Santa. So now Santa is going to represent your ego, your mind, because it's sitting on the throne currently. And that is what he's trying to do, is get back on the throne. So as you can see, Santa is at the top, right? He's on the throne and all these people have come to see Santa. Santa is the center of attraction. So before they can see Santa, they got to hop in line. Now, the line is mad long. It's all the way back, all the way back. And they're at the very end of it. Now, see, this is where the rubber meets the road, because if you really aren't focused on what you're trying to achieve, and you're one to make excuses, oh man, this line too long. I can't do this, John. Nah, I'll wait. So you're going to put off what you want because of a small inconvenience. You truly don't want that then. But he had no problem hopping in the back of that line and waiting, because he knew where he was going and nobody was going to stop him. Now, just like Ralphie on his journey, we always met with distractions. Now, this first distraction, your little young lady sitting there trying to chop it up with him in line, but he wasn't having that. Why? Because he's focused on where he's trying to go. They're not equally yoked. So he's like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. You can go ahead and turn back around and keep it pushing. So that's what she did. Now, second distraction comes along, and now he's about halfway to Santa now. So this is when those distractions start to get a little bit more real, because they were like, oh, okay, he really trying to, okay, well, we got to amp it up a little bit. So that's when on my journey, I was getting spiritually attacked more, right? I was getting attacked in my dreams. I was getting demons sent to me, all kinds of things, right? All of these distractions that trying to get me to get off of my path, go back where I came from. Now, this ain't where you trying to go, right? Because your energy feeds the system. So anytime you're trying to remove your energy from the system is going to react. And that's why these distractions and all these other things pop up in your reality. Now, as I said, Santa is the ego. It's the mind, right? So that means that that's not the real you. The ego is not the real you. Just like this Santa here on this scene, Santa's saying, hey, a minute past 9, they can kiss my foot. He's out of here, right? Because he does not want to be there. That's not the job he wants to do. So because of that, he's pretending to be nice, pretending to love the kids, pretending to be jolly. Same thing in life. You see all your favorite actors and movie stars and yada yada. What's the first thing people tell you? Don't meet the person that you like the most. Why? Because they're typically not who they pretend to be. You see them on the screen and all these interviews, and they're nice and smile and this, that, and the other. And then you meet them and they're assholes, because that's not who they truly are. Now, we'll talk about that in another mess. That's because they're sitting in somebody else's energy. And that's what it is when you get off of your throne. You're not using that higher vibrating energy. So what happens a lot, you have these disembodied spirits that are attached to you on a higher level, right? They're absorbing that energy, and they need to keep you on the lower level. So when you're trying to reclaim the throne, that's going to remove them. And they don't want that, right? So they're going to fight back because they want that position. That position comes with higher energy, power, and that's what they want. So like I said, Ralphie and his brother are currently on the same mission, right? The only problem is when his brother sits on Santa's lap, starts conversing with the ego, with the mind, he wasn't ready to sit back on the throne. So he freaked out. And once he freaked out, the mind was like, okay, I got him. All right, he good. I'm going to go ahead and send him on his way, right? Because he wasn't ready. And then when it was Ralphie's turn, he was confused. I got all the way up here. Now it's self-sabotage. You know, you've went through 10 duds, and now that 11th person walk into your life. You've had 10 duds, You going a lot of people would treat that 11th person just like those other 10 duds. But let's say that the 11th person is your person. You're caught up in what was. Be focused in the now. He knew what his goal was, but as soon as he got to Santa, his mind's all over the place and he froze. So the ego, Santa, okay, cool. I'm gonna try to go ahead and he ain't ready to get back on the throne, so I'm gonna go ahead and let me go ahead and get him on up out of here, right? So he sees that he's confused, so he was like, you know what? Hey, I got you. How about I'm gonna give you a nice football? Now, as I said, he came here for a BB gun and a BB gun only. So he's confused. Santa's trying to put him, the mind is trying to put him in a reality that is not suited for him. The reality he wants to reside in is the reality that where he has that BB gun, not the reality where he's sitting there playing football with his friends. Those are two totally different realities. But the mind knows that. It wants to keep you off of the throne. So it's going to suggest things that push you away from the throne. And then once you agree is when we'll have this next scene. Okay, so now you can see that he finally woke up and he realized what he was doing, right? So when he woke up and he came to and he finally realized, okay, you know what? I'm about to blow this, man. I made this journey all the way up here. Let me go ahead and ask Santa for what I came here for. Now, this is the problem that Ralphie ran into. Ralphie asked Santa. If you notice, he stopped. He turned around, he made that climb back up the slide, but he stopped. So for my purposes, when I made that climb back up that slide, I didn't stop right there to ask permission. I climbed all the way up and I demanded my throne back. It's your throne. You don't need to ask permission to sit back on your throne. You just simply reclaim it. But if you're like Ralphie and you want to ask the ego is going to respond. Now, obviously, that was not the answer that Ralphie was looking for. But once again, as I said, Santa is sitting on the throne. That means all these people that came to see me, they're not going to come to see me no more. I'm not going to be important anymore. I'm going to have to get the throne up. I'm going to be a nobody. They don't want to do that. So that's why the ego is going to fight you every bit of the way. Every bit of the way. When I started meditating, my mind was going crazy. I had a very, 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 very busy mind. Constantly going. Constantly. And meditating was not easy, but I stuck with it. And that just kept inching me closer and closer. Just like Ralphie, I was making that climb back up that slide. Now, when he made that climb back up that slide, who did you see with him? Who did you see help boosting him up? Nobody. He had to do everything on his own. This is a solo journey. Stop trying to rely on others or ask others for things that benefit you. A lot of people have ulterior motives. And they're not going to tell you those motives. So they're going to do things to make sure whatever you're trying to do benefits them more than it benefits you. And those are the people you don't want to have in your reality. So make that climb back up the ladder and step into who you truly are. Otherwise, you'll be just like Ralphie and his brother, fallen, defeated, the opposite of where they want to be. Now, the problem with it is this is where the majority of your family is located. Your friends, your coworkers, they've all made that fall. And trust and believe, once they see you trying to make that climb out, crab in the barrel mentality, they're going to try to pull you back down. The ones you want in your corner are the ones that's going to try to boost you up. Just because everyone else is there doesn't mean that you need to be there. Find out what your purpose is and go towards that. And I'm going to leave that there. And as always, if you got anything out of this message, I ask you to like and subscribe, and I will definitely check you in the next one.